We recommend not coming caffeinated. That's because caffeine, you don't want to be in that.
Right. You want to relax.
Exactly. You want to relax. You want your body to be at as much of a neutral state as possible. So you don't want to be overly stuffed and full. You also don't want to be starving and hungry. So yeah, just kind of preparing your mind, your body, and your soul for the experience. And I did forget to mention soul. The cool thing about those tanks is since you are detached from everything else and you're not receiving distractions, it makes it very easy for those who meditate or who pray or anything that makes them good, feel good inside. In the heart and inside. It gives them the opportunity to do that without hearing a dog barking or a phone ringing or a kid crying, or they're able to have that solitude time to themselves to do whatever they need to do.
Let's get to know about CT. Man, I gotta introduce my city back again, man. Hey, let's get to know about S to the T to the L. Y'all dudes don't know my state. This the city where I stay, where my head lay. You know we don't play. I'm talking about my home city. S to the T to the L.
Welcome to Let's Get to Know About it St. Louis. I'm your host, CT. I'm sitting here today with Montel from Float STL. How you doing, Mr. Montel?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
I'm good, man. I'm glad you was able to sit down with me to talk about Float STL.
Yes, sir. That's what you want to know.
Yeah, I want to know a lot, man. So what is Float STL?
So Float STL was opened up. It started in St. Louis in a Midtown location in 2015. Owners Kevin McCullough and Jacob Resch. They just had a vision to offer a service for those people that just needed an opportunity to detach from all the chaos, everything that's going on around the world. And so they then birthed Float STL.
Oh, okay. So what does Float STL actually help out? Does it help out more mentally or physically?
Yeah, so Float STL offers what's called float therapy, or some people might refer to it as saltwater sensory deprivation. But it addresses all three aspects of life. So you got mind, you got body, and then you got soul. Starting with the mind, you are in an environment where your brain is not receiving any information. So you are laying in 10.5 inches of water, and it ranges from about 1,000 to 1,300 pounds of Epsom salt, which raises the specific gravity, kind of like the Dead Sea, and it makes you extremely buoyant, just like a cork in water would be. But because of that, you have the light in the tank that you're in control of, so it does have the ability to get pretty dark, and then pretty quiet as well, but you also have control over the music. So there are options, and I know people hear the word deprivation, and they're like, I don't want to be deprived of my I like to think of it as like sensory relief, like getting relief from your senses or reducing your senses. That way you just give your brain a break. So you're laying in 10.5 inches of water, a lot of salt. The water is heated right to your skin temperature. So it makes it difficult to kind of distinguish where the water ends and where your skin begins and kind of where it meets, which gives you that sensation of not feeling anything while you're floating. So because you're in an environment where all 5 of your senses are reduced, that is where your brain has the opportunity to heal and relax and rejuvenate and all of that stuff. Body, you are 100% buoyant, like you're just floating effortlessly. It's like a water bed without the water, or without the bed part, so just the water. So all of the pressure off of your joints, your ligaments, your spine, gone. There's no tension, there's no stress. It's as close as you can get to zero gravity on this earth. So if you've ever been to a chiropractor and that chiropractor has done decompression where he's stretching your spine and hooking you up and you gotta be hooked up to this machine, this is just like that, but natural. Nobody has to touch you. You are laying in water that fully 100% supports you. The largest person we've been able to accommodate, because I know this is a common question, has been 6'9" and weighed 420 pounds.
Oh man.
And that's just what we've experienced. So, you know, there could be larger. So it's definitely for everybody. One of the youngest floaters that I know has been 8 years old. Of course, with parent and guardian supervision. But we've seen floaters from every aspect of life, every part of life, every career, every religion. Like everybody floats, man and female. This isn't one of those therapies that it's like, oh, that's the stereotypical soccer mom experience. We're going to a spa and everything of that sort. So this is really an experience for everybody, so that they can benefit from it for sure.
Okay. All right. That's some good stuff. What about the water? Like, what is all the things that you guys put in the water?
So the water, majority is salt. There's literally more salt than there is water. But we all, of course, we have to keep health standards the same and everything. So we do treat the water to make sure that the pH level is at a prime position, so the water is not too acidic for your skin. We do not use chlorine. Chlorine is harmful for the skin. Instead, we use H2O2, which is hydrogen peroxide, but we use a very concentrated percentage of that so that we can use less. But that cleans and disinfects. And then we have a very, very, very robust filtration system. A lot of people, you might hear, we drain the tanks, and do we drain the tanks? We really only drain the tanks, we only need to about once or twice a year, because every single night we're continuing having to add water. When we add water, we have to add salt. So the water is naturally replenishing itself over time. But we also, in that filtration process, it's a 15-minute filtration process. That water has gone through that filter three different times within 15 minutes. It's ran through a UV light to kill any bacteria that might be living in high concentrated salt content, which barely anything can live there anyway. But yeah, we run it through a UV light just as a precaution. And then it's ran through, the water is heated again, then it's ran through, I forget the terminology, but very, 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 like a eighth or a tenth or whatever it might be, the size of a human hair. It can filter down to that size of a solid particle.
Okay. All right. There's some good news, Mr. Montel. But I want to ask you, what else Float STL offers?
Yeah, so aside from floating, here at the Maryland Heights location, we also do have a massage therapist as well as a chiropractor. He's kind of like all in one. His name is Dr. David Lang. So guests that come in and they maybe have like a knot or a kink in the neck and want to get that out before they go in and float, they can get that worked out and then go into float. But then we also do have an infrared sauna. And I don't know if you're familiar with infrared.
No.
So the whole purpose of a sauna is to cause you to sweat so that you can detox. So a natural, traditional sauna uses steam to heat the body outside in. Infrared is on the light spectrum, so it has the ability to penetrate skin and muscle tissues, which heats your body inside out, causing for a more effective and efficient sweat, which is exactly what you want, so you can get that good detox, increase your blood circulation, and then it's really good for inflammation as well. And then at the Midtown location, we have Z Therapy out there. And he does like some really, really incredible muscle stretching. Like if you just really want to get a good stretch, like a full body stretch, Zach is great. And then we also have Connected Body Work upstairs on the top floor at Midtown. And that's Melissa and Alicia, and those two ladies are great. If I pronounce this right, Ashiitsu massage. And they're actually doing deep tissue massaging with their feet. So they have like bars that they hold on to, and it's incredible. So if you are a lover of deep tissue, definitely go see Connected Body Work. Okay. And we all work off of like the same system, so you can just call Float STL to get access to those extra services.
All right, that's good to hear. What about products? Do you guys sell products out?
Yeah, so we have a few clothing options. We got some float t-shirts, some float apparel. We have gift boxes that have like a little of everything that says float. Incense, some tea, some herbal tea. We have a floating lotus tea that we always offer to our guests whenever they come in. You get offered tea or water. You're offered to just kind of chill and just vibe in the space before you get started with the float. So you don't have to feel rushed to walk in the door and go straight back to the float tank. We want this to feel like your home, your house, so you can take your shoes off, lay on the couch, chill in the lounge chairs, and then we'll take you back and give you a full tour, orientation, make sure you know exactly what you're doing before you get started.
Right, I was gonna ask you that. Like, what's the process for a person who just first time coming in? Like,
yeah, a lot of people are hesitant and they got questions because this is new, it's different, you know. And we have a lot of people that are like, I'm claustrophobic, or I can't swim, or I can't float. I can't swim and I can't float.
Right.
I'm not claustrophobic, but I will say the staff here, we do pride ourselves in communication and just meeting the guest where they're at.
okay.
So if you come in that door and you're anxious, our job is to lower those anxieties. So by the time that you get ready to open up that lid or open up that door to that tank and step into that water, you're completely secure and comfortable and ready to enjoy your float experience.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I don't got that many. No. Because you answer them all. Is there anything that I'm missing? Yeah, what you would like to say?
Float STL is great. Float therapy is great. And I'll speak on behalf of the entire float industry. Whether it is here in St. Louis at Float STL or it is any other float center, just the float therapy itself is worth it. It's worth it.
I can tell in y'all voice, it's just, y'all just so calm and peaceful.
It's got to be, man. It's part of the job. It's part of the job, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, it's important. We understand that it's important, especially in today's age with technology, and cell phones, and social media, and fear of missing out being a thing. And kids are actually being diagnosed with fear of missing out, and that separation anxiety with technology. We understand in today's time, we need the opportunity and the ability to detach and to just get away. Some people who are stressed out at home, they need an hour or two to just come and let everything go. The cool thing about when you're in those tanks, those tanks do a very, very good job of revealing anything, like anything that has been suppressed for very long, because it's just you. And there might be some guests that could be afraid of their own mind. But if you really, really take time and think about it, that's what causes the healing. That's where the healing comes into play. It's because those issues that come up, and they allow you to become aware of them again, and they allow you to address them and to fix them. And when you're in that tank, it's no float that is the exact same. From one person to another, yourself. I have never had a float, and I've floated over 100 times now. I've never had one float that's been the exact same.
Wow.
They've all been different. Because there's just so many different variables that come into play with your brain, you know, what you ate the night before, how you slept, your current mood, all of it. And it changes your experience in that float tank.
All right, Mr. Montel, can you tell everybody where they can reach you at?
You can, so Float STL, we have a location in Midtown, 3027 Locust Street, St. Louis, Missouri. And then we have a location in Maryland Heights, Missouri, right off of, it's 127 Weldon Parkway, Suite B, right across from Worldwide Technologies, right next door to Watchtower Security. You can go to floatstl.com. And on there, we have so much information that will answer a lot of your initial questions. But our personal favorite, you can always give us a call, and we are always open to answer any questions that you might have, just because we know that personal touch matters and makes a difference. So come see us, come float away, come get your relaxation on. We'd love to meet you and get your float experience on the way.
That's because this is a peaceful environment, I tell you that. To learn more about Float STL, all the company information be located down in the description below. Also follow me on my social media at CTTv. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss out on more. Let's get to know about St. Louis. I'm your host CT, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
Hey,
What?
thanks for watching CTTv.
That's what TV.